Hello, everyone. We are on our Tuesday English lesson, aren't we? Got a sleepy doggy next to me again. We're on our Tuesday English lesson today. I'm really looking forward to it. Today's English lesson should be really good. We're going to do a little bit of joined up handwriting like we always do. Got to say, your joined up handwriting is looking beautiful at the moment. The thing we need to start doing, though, is to put it into our actual English books now. So we don't just want beautiful handwriting at the top and then messy handwriting underneath. We should be trying now to keep our handwriting good all of the time. Okay, so let's have a look at our handwriting for today. Okay. Okay, so we're going to look at our letter M today. We looked at N yesterday. M is almost exactly the same, okay? So we're not going to spend too long on this. We're going to start on the line. We're going to go up, down, up, and over, up, over, and flick, okay? Up, down, up, over, up, over, and flick. One more time. Up, down, up, and over, up, over, flick. Okay. Just like yesterday, we do not want any hills. We don't want this. That's a McDonald's sign. We don't want any golden arches. We've got to go up, down, up, and over. Okay, there's our letter N. And then we just go over again. Okay, so we don't want any hills. They're going to be some of our rubbish ones. We want something that looks like this. Have a go at one line of letter M in your book. And once you've finished, unpause the video and I'll show you our word for today. Off you go. Okay, so our word today is ham. We know our letter A already and we know our letter M now. We've not practiced our H, that's actually our letter for tomorrow, but it's exactly the same as an N. The only difference is that instead of stopping halfway up, we're going all the way up. So I think we can handle that, all right? So when we do our H, we're gonna go all the way up to the top, down, halfway up, and over, okay? Let's go into our A, come back to do our curly cut. We know how to do this. Up, down, and then let's do our M. We're going to go up, down, up, and over, up, over, and flick. Now, that one wasn't our best one, so I'm going to try again. So if that was in my book, that would have got an X. That wasn't great. Let's try again. Up, down, up, over, up to our A, come back to make a curly cut, halfway up and back down, and for our M we're going down, up, over, and flick. I'm pretty happy with that. Have a go at doing one line of ham. And as soon as you've done that, you can unpause the video, ready for our English lesson. Off you go. Okay. I'd like you to get your English books, and just underneath your handwriting for today, I'd like you to do your date and title, just like I said the other day. Let's just have a look and see which letters we think we should be able to do. So I'm just going to make it the right type of writing for you. There's my favourite font. There we go. So when we do our date and title today, our D's and our A's, they could be joined, couldn't they? We know them. We know our T's and we know our H's now, actually, and they can be joined together. We know our A's and our N's, actually, so we can join our A and N together. We know our A's, and you know, we've not done R. That's our letter for Thursday, I think. But I bet you can have a go at joining them. And when we do our title, we can join that bit can't we? We can join this bit here in emotions. We can join our A and our N. In fact, we might be able to join our C, our H, our A, and our N in the word change. Let's have a look. And in time, look at that. The TIM in time, you can have a go at joining that. So when you're writing your date and title, see if you can join your handwriting. By now, we should be joining quite a lot of our letters. Have a go. As soon as you've done that, you can unpause the video and I'll talk to you about our lesson today. Okay, so just a little bit of a warm-up. We're going to do this together. Can you spot the conjunction? I do this when I say conjunction because it's a joining word that joins sentences together. So let's look at the first one. Sarah wanted to drive to work, but she couldn't find her car. Which word is the joining word in that one? That's right, it's but. But is the joining word, okay? What about this one? I hate cats and I am scared of dogs. This bit is a sentence on its own. I hate cats, that makes sense. So that would be okay on its own. This bit would be okay on its own. I'm scared of dogs. So that means the joining word must be and. I hate cats and I am scared of dogs. I want you to do this one on your own. I wanted some ice cream, but there was none. Yeah, we've got that same one we had before. It's but. Well done. Okie dokie. So today we want to look at how emotions change over time. So I'm going to read you the next part of The Diary of the Killer Cat. And while you're reading it, I want you to think, how does Dad feel at the beginning of the chapter? How does Dad feel towards the end of the chapter? His emotions, his feelings change a little bit. Let's think about how Ellie is feeling, and I want you to think how Mum is feeling as well. So we're on Friday, okay? Just gonna stop that so you can see my lovely face the whole time. There's a doggy there as well, look. Sleepy doggy again. She doesn't even want to look at us today because she's so tired. Friday. I call it Friday because they left it so late. The clock was already well past midnight by the time Ellie's father finally heaved himself out of his comfy chair in front of the telly and went upstairs. When he came down again, he was dressed in black. Black from head to foot. You look like a cat burglar, said Ellie's mother. I wish somebody would burgle our cat, he growled. I just ignored him. I thought that was best. Together, they went to the back door. Don't switch the back light on, he warned her. You never know who might be watching. I tried to sneak out at the same time, but Ellie's mother held me back with her foot. You can just stay inside tonight, she told me. We've had enough trouble from you this week. And there's Ellie's father sneaking out in his covered in black from head to toe. And we know what's in this bag, don't we? And then where are we? There's Ellie's mother stopping Tuffy from going outside as well. Fair's fair. And I heard all about it anyway, later, from Bella and Tiger and Puskins. They all reported back. They're good mates. They all saw Ellie's father creeping across the lawn with his plastic bag full of Thumper, wrapped nicely in a towel to keep him clean. They all saw him forcing his way through the hole in the hedge and crawling across next door's lawn on his tummy. Couldn't think what he was doing, Puskins said afterwards. Ruined the hole in the hedge, complained Bella. He's made it so big that the Thompson's Rottweiler could get through it now. That father of Ellie's must have the most dreadful night vision, said Tiger. It took him forever to find that hutch in the dark. And there's Ellie's father crawling through the hole in the hedge. Anne prized the door open and stuffing poor old Thumper. Anne set him out neatly on his bed of straw, all curled up. There's Thumper curled up on his bed of straw again. So it looked like he was sleeping. It was very, very lifelike, said Bella. It could have fooled me. If anyone just happened to be passing in the dark, they'd really have thought that poor old Thumper had just died happily and peacefully in his sleep, after a good life from old age. They all began howling with laughter. Shh, I said. Keep it down, guys. They'll hear, and I'm not supposed to be out tonight. I'm grounded. They all stared at me. Get away with you. Grounded? What for? Murder, I said. For cold-blooded Bunnyside. That set us all off again. We yowled and yowled. The last I heard before we took off in a gang up Beechcroft Drive was one of the bedroom windows being flung open and Ellie's father yelling, How did you get out, you crafty beast? What's he going to do? Nail up the cat flap? And there's all the cats. Let me check. There's all the cats laughing in the street and Ellie's dad going, How did you get out, you crafty beast? Still Friday. He nails up the cat flap. Would you believe this man? He comes down the stairs this morning, and before he's even out of his pyjamas, he's set to work with a hammer and a nail. Bang, 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 bang. I'm giving him the stare. I really am. But then he just turns round and speaks to me directly. There, he says. That'll fix you. Now it swings this way. He gave the cat flap a hefty shove with his foot, but it doesn't swing this way. And sure enough, when the cat flap tried to flap back in, it couldn't. It hit the nail. So, he says to me, you can go out. Feel free to go out. Feel free, in fact, not only to go out, but also to stay out. Get lost. Disappear forever. But should you bother to come back again, don't go to the trouble of bringing anything with you, because this is now a one-way cat flap, and so you will have to sit on the doormat until one of the family lets you in. He narrowed his eyes at me, all nasty-like. And woe betide you, Tuffy, if there's anything dead lying waiting on the doormat beside you. Woe betide me. What a stupid expression. What on earth does it mean, anyway? Woe betide you. Woe betide him. And there's Ellie's dad screaming at Tuffy, woe betide you. Woe betide you means it's like a warning, like don't you dare do anything or you'll be in trouble. Woe betide you. So there's Saturday. Friday, sorry, not Saturday. What am I talking about? There's Friday. Quite a lot of things happened on Friday, didn't they? Dad got Thumper. He went upstairs, stayed up late, didn't he? Went upstairs, dressed from head to toe in black, a bit like a burglar. He snuck through the garden with Thumper, through the hole in the hedge, put Thumper safely back, snuck back out, went to bed, told Tuffy off because he managed to get out with his friends, and then the next morning, nailed the cat flap shut. Well, not shut, it can only go out and not in, so Tuffy can go out of it, but when he tries to come in, it will hit the nail, he can't come back in. Yesterday, we looked at emotions, didn't we? Do you know, you did some really, really good stuff. Let me think about what some people have done. Some people... Ellie's eyes filled with tears. I like that. Somebody said that Dad was trembling with rage. He was so angry. So there's some really good phrases. And what I've done, I've thought about us being happy, being sad, and being angry. And I've just put together some phrases which you might want to use today. You don't have to. You don't have to use them. Or you might use one or two, but use some of your own or anything like that. I'm just going to change something there because we don't want that anymore. So I'm just going to read a few of them. Joy. If you're joyful, buzzing with excitement. A beaming smile. Beaming. A grin as wide as his face. So a grin is a smile, and it's so wide that it's as wide as your face. That sounds like a really big smile. Can you just try and do a huge grin that goes as wide as your face? That's a big smile. What about this one? A face that was glowing with happiness. Sometimes, if someone's really happy, you might see that their face goes a little bit red, and not in a bad way, but they have nice rosy cheeks, and they're almost glowing because they're so happy. So there's some phrases which you might want to use if one of your characters is happy. Okay. Sadness. A lump in the back of my throat. If you ever got sad and you kind of need to swallow because it feels like you've got a lump in your throat. His eyes welled up with tears. Welled up with tears is when someone, if you start crying and your eyes kind of fill up and you can see the tears at the bottom of your eyes, that's your eyes welling up with tears. You're not crying yet, but your eyes are filling up. My lip trembled. Sometimes your lip starts to shake, doesn't it? Starts to tremble if you're a bit sad. Single tear rolled down my cheek. We'll know you're sad if a single tear rolls down your cheek. And then anger, clench fists, someone did. This isn't my phrase, this one. This is from somebody's English book. His face was burning with rage. I really like that. So they're so red in the face that it looks like their face is burning. I like this one as well. This is one of mine, but I found it in one of my special teacher books. His nostrils flared like an angry bull. So sometimes if you make an angry face, your nose kind of goes a little bit kind of bigger, and your nostrils go like a bull. His nostrils flared like an angry bull. I like that one. And cold, staring eyes. It's a different kind of anger. Cold, staring eyes. So there's some phrases you might want to use, okay? So we're going to write as Ellie. So we're writing as Ellie all week. So I thought I'd have a little bit of a go. Let me just make it a bit bigger so you can read it. That should be all right. Yeah, there we go. So this is mine from Ellie, and I've tried to show that over time, sometimes I think at the beginning, Dad is really angry with Tuffy, and then at the end, he's really, really happy with what he's done. Okay, see if you can spot it. On Friday, when Dad realised what he had to do, his face was burning with rage. I thought his head was going to explode. He even told my mum that he wished someone would burgle our cat. Mum just stood there, trembling. I think she was a bit nervous about putting poor little Thumper back. Poor Thumper. Every time I think about him, my eyes well up with tears. He was such a cute, fluffy bunny. The next morning, I came downstairs to a very happy Dad. I've nailed the cat flap shut, he said with a grin as wide as his face. Meanwhile, Tuffy just sat there, flicking his tail at us. He does not look impressed. So in mine, I've included a few little phrases to show how our character's feeling at each stage of the story. So we've got quite a lot to write about today. So you're writing in your book, hopefully you'll have quite a lot. Dad realises that he's going to put the rabbit back. He tells Mum that he wished somebody would burgle their cat. Mum's a bit nervous about putting him back. Dad actually goes to put him back. And then the next morning, I started a new paragraph because it's a new day, so I missed a line. He nails the cat flap shut. And he has a little conversation with Tuffy, doesn't he? So there's quite a lot to write about. Can you spot any of my phrases? You might want to pause it if you want to. Can you spot any of my phrases that show how my characters are feeling? So pause the video just for about 30 seconds. Have a little read, or you might have already spotted some. Where have I shown how emotions, show my characters' emotions? Okay, on Friday, when Dad realised what he had to do, his face was burning with rage. I think he's feeling angry. I thought his head was going to explode. Definitely an angry Dad. Mum just stood there, trembling. If Mum's trembling, how's she feeling? Trembling. She might be a bit nervous. She might be a bit sad, maybe a bit of both. Okay. Every time I think about him, my eyes well up with tears. We can see that Ellie is sad. All right. The next morning, I came downstairs to a very happy dad. I've nailed the cat flap shut, he said, with a grin as wide as his face. Meanwhile, Tuffy just sat there, flicking his tail at us. He does not look impressed. So at the beginning, I've written like I'm Ellie, but Dad is really, really angry at the beginning, but then at the end, he's really, really happy about what he's done. Okay, so I've shown how my emotions have changed over time. Okay, so your job today is to write as Ellie about what happened on Friday. Okay, you can use some of my ideas, but I'm not going to leave mine up today because I'm going to leave this up for you so that you can steal some of my phrases. You might want to choose which ones. I used, which ones did I use? I used a grin as wide as his face, didn't I? I said that Ellie's eyes welled up with tears, so I used this one. I said that Mum trembled, didn't I? I said Dad's face was burning with rage. So these are the ones I used. You don't have to use the same ones. You can use different ones if you want to, but they're the ones I used. So pause the video, but I want you to keep this on today. So whatever device you use, in a laptop or an iPad or whatever, leave this on so you've got some ideas and they'll help you while you're doing your writing, and see if you can use 2 or 3 of my little phrases to make your writing even better. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. All right. So there's our English lesson for Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow. See you later, guys.